What's going on, guys? Craig Kuriokis here. I work with a lot of buyers and sellers, and I always seem to get the same questions. And so I had this idea. I thought, what if I just took all of this information, created a video series where I was able to answer a lot of these questions and just help people get access to the information whenever they need it. So this is being born. One of the questions that I get asked all the time on listing appointments is, what do we need to do to get the house ready to sell? Well, it's a great question, and if I were in your shoes, I would want to know the same thing. And it's important to know what staging can do to help you sell your home more quickly and for top dollar. So let's dive into some of my tips for staging your home for a quick sale. Now, guys, please remember, this is not an inclusive list. There are absolutely other things that you can do, and you don't need to do everything that I'm talking about today. These are just some of my thoughts and what came to mind when I was writing out this video. So first things first, the concept of staging is not putting on this big, spectacular Broadway show, but it is about making your home as appealing as possible for potential buyers. We want to dress this thing up so that when we take photos and we go to market the home, everyone that goes through Zillow or Redfin or Realtor.com sees the home and thinks, wow, I want to go see that. Because ultimately, I believe that our goal as real estate agents is to get people into the house first, then sell them. So first things first, declutter. That is absolutely the number one highest priority that we have. And it's kind of funny how most people don't think that they're the ones that need decluttering. But let's face it, everyone could use a little decluttering. Decluttering simply means getting rid of all the extra stuff to make your home feel more open and inviting, and it allows the buyer to really envision themselves living there. You know that feeling when you walk into a house or into a room and it just feels kind of cluttery and almost claustrophobic? Yeah, buyers don't like that feeling. So we don't want to make them feel that way when they walk into your house. Instead, we want them to walk in and think, wow, like I could really live here. Like I could imagine myself living here. That's what we want to make our buyers feel. So let's say goodbye to the antique collections and the fancy salt shakers, and let's fold the laundry, put it away, get it off the couch, and let's sell this house. Number 2 is deep clean. This is another one that is overlooked by almost everyone. Most people think, well, I can just kind of run through and clean it up real quick. No, we want to scrub every nook and cranny. If possible, we want to bring in a professional. I like to use Katie. Shout out to Katie. She does a great job. But guys, you don't have to use my cleaner. You can do it yourself. This doesn't have to be fancy or an expensive process. The point is really just cleaning every little odd and end. We want to scrub the showers and the bathtubs. We want to clean the oven and the stove, the microwave. We don't want anything to look or feel kind of gross and grody. We want people to have a good feeling when they walk through the home, and we don't want anything that stands out as a negative in the eyes of a potential buyer. All right, number 3 is depersonalize. Now, this is kind of a sensitive one sometimes because people are very proud of their family photos, and I'm not dissing them, but seriously, we just need to calm down on the family pictures. Your family's beautiful, your kids are great, I love everyone, but let's just take it down a notch. We want buyers to walk into the home and be able to envision themselves there. They don't want to feel, or we don't want them to feel like they're walking through someone else's home, even though they are. So really, depersonalizing just means getting rid of the extra stuff that is you. We want to make it more neutral and more appealing to potential buyers. All right, now I know all of you have seen at least one episode of HGTV, so you'll get this. Number 4 is we want to create a focal point. Creating a focal point can really highlight the home's unique features. So whether it's a great piece of art or a unique architectural detail, those are the things that we really want to highlight and make buyers notice. The idea is to really highlight all of the character in the home and to impress the buyer. All right, so number 5 is what I think is everyone's favorite, and that's add some greenery. So we're gonna do a little curb appeal and we're gonna add some houseplants to the home. And this is really just gonna freshen it up. It's gonna help it feel lively and youthful. There's something about plants inside that really just change the atmosphere of the home. And they do actually clean the air. Plants act as an air purifier. So they're really great to have inside, and they really anchor a home. They make it feel natural and make it feel homey. I recommend grabbing a couple ferns, maybe a palm or some flowers, really whatever you like. We just want to add a little bit of greenery to the home, both inside and outside. Now, before we wrap this up, you've kind of heard my case for why we should do some staging and decluttering, but I just want to go over some common misconceptions about staging. So the number one thing that I hear when I mention staging to a client is that staging is just really expensive. Most people are open to the idea of staging, and then when they hear the price tag that comes along with it, they're like, maybe not. Typically, staging can cost between $1,500 to $2,000 for the average home that I sell. Now, if you're working in the luxury market, that could be much higher. Or if you're in a smaller home that doesn't need as much, it could probably be a lot less. But really, at the end of the day, you can do a lot with a very small budget. And if you're just decluttering and cleaning, really that doesn't cost anything. The second misconception would be that staging just isn't necessary. And guys, let me tell you, while you can absolutely sell a home without staging, what staging does to a home is well worth the money that you put into it, as long as you're not spending some exorbitant amount on fancy couches or artwork. It really makes a huge difference in how fast the home sells and how many potential buyers we get through the door. And typically it allows us to sell the house for a higher price. The third misconception is that staging is just all about show. Well, that's partially true. We are putting on a show. After all, that's really what marketing is. But it's also about creating a welcoming and neutral space that allows a buyer to really feel at home before they've even bought the house. And by showcasing your home's uniqueness and all of the character that it innately has, we're gonna help a buyer see the potential of the space. Now, as an agent, I have shown a lot of houses to a lot of different people, and I'll tell you, it always blows my mind how quickly someone will make up their mind about a home. Many times, within the first few feet inside the front door, a buyer has made up their mind on whether or not this is something that they're going to be open to or not. Call it superficial, but buyers typically know the feel of a home that they're interested in, and they'll be sure to tell you if it's not what they want. So guys, at the end of the day, staging and cleaning and decluttering doesn't really have to be this big production. And I think that you'll find that decluttering, cleaning, bringing in some focal points for different rooms, bringing in some greenery and really livening up the home, showing off its unique character, that we'll be able to find a buyer much more quickly, and odds are we'll be able to sell the home for a lot more than you may have thought. Just remember that staging doesn't have to be big or expensive. A little bit goes a long way. The important thing is just to do something. So guys, that's all I've got on staging, cleaning, and decluttering. Again, my name's Craig Kuriokis. If you have any questions about the home sales process or about purchasing a home, I'd love if you would reach out. And if you found this content valuable, I hope you'll hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe so you can keep up with videos that I make in the future. And until then, we'll see you on the next one. See ya.